Hello, YouTube. It is Wednesday evening, 9:30. I'm just going to give you an update. My husband and I went on a trip for a few days to Missouri, to St. Louis. It was something that my husband got a word from God and told him to go and do street preaching in St. Louis. We left Sunday early-ish, not as early as we wanted, and it's about a 10.5 to 12-hour drive, depending. It was long. I had taken this route going through Oklahoma to Missouri years ago when I was going out with this guy. That the reason I originally moved to Dallas, and we used to make this trip from Illinois, to and from Illinois. Beautiful scenery. We did the whole going there, we didn't avoid the toll through from Oklahoma into Missouri. $3, something like that. Coming back, we didn't have change, so we were shunpiking, which is avoiding the big interstates, the tolls, and going the back roads, which, if you say avoid tolls, Google will just take you through crazy, in the middle of nowhere back roads. So that's kind of where we were. Coming back, he took a wrong turn, missed an exit, took a wrong turn, and we went way out of the way into these rural routes, farms, real rickety buildings, beautiful scenery, cows, lots of cows. But it was very relaxing. I really enjoyed the scenery and just traveling through it. It was really peaceful. No talk radio, no stress, just peaceful. Basically, sadly, we didn't get too much accomplished in the way of preaching. We got there late. And we went to bed. Woke up on Monday, and we got in after midnight, I think it was, or around midnight, at the Baymont Inn and Suites, which is really nice. Not fancy, but very clean, and it was really nice. No Bible in the room, I noticed. We left one. I know, I'm probably not going to leave it, but we left one. I left a gospel tract in every restroom and every restaurant on the table, wherever we ate, wherever we stopped, gas station, whatever, I left a tract. So, Monday we went out, we drove around, we went through Ferguson, which was pretty sad. It wasn't as bad as we had imagined, all these horror scenes, whatnot. Nobody was around. It's just a quiet little town. There was one store that was totally just demolished, burned to the ground. Just the roof was all burned down, and there's just all the windows and things that are destroyed are boarded up, and they have signs painted on them with Martin Luther King and sayings about peace and injustice. And so we drove around, and we didn't get out. We just looked around, and then we went to the downtown area, part of the downtown area. Parking was like 50 cents for half an hour, something like that, and we did not have much change. So it was really limited in the amount of time we had. We went to the historical district, which is really old. There's this ancient factory from like turn of the century, and There's the original cobblestone streets. You could not walk with high heels in this. It's like Leclerc's Landing or something like that. You could not walk with high heels. I mean, this road is just... And, I mean, we had so many people coming up to us panhandling. And gave out some gospel tracts. Time was up. My stomach was bothering me really bad. It was a bowel issue. I won't get too graphic in here, but basically, I was not feeling too well. When I travel, my body messes with me really bad. When I'm sitting for long periods of time, if it's a long plane trip or a long road trip, my stomach is messed up for days. So I felt fine when I went to bed, other than being tired and drained from the trip. But by the time we went out on Monday, I was dehydrated. I had a pounding headache. I felt weak. I had to go and lay down. So it was, and then it started affecting Chris kind of the same way. Really not cool. He wanted to go back to Ferguson. I didn't think it was enough time before dark fell, and I really didn't feel safe. So we went and got something to eat at a Mexican restaurant and went back. And we got up Tuesday. We had to get up at 5 a.m. And it's a good thing we did, because, I mean, we just went so out of the way because of GPS. And it was so weird. It was serene the whole time, going through the countryside. I could almost picture myself. When I was younger, I used to say I don't want any part of the country, nothing to do with being in the middle of nowhere. And now I could picture myself in one of these meadows, watching the sunset, just peaceful. I could totally see myself there. When we got into the Metroplex, I mean, the minute we entered into like Grapevines, somewhere around there, it literally was like somebody flipped a switch. People started driving insane, and the traffic just went. It was like you flipped a switch. It was instant stress. The radio, the traffic, everything I had a headache. I just hated it. I just wanted to go back to the country. So that's totally different than I was growing up. Anyway, I just want to make it clear where I stand on this whole issue that's dividing my country right now. This law that Indiana brought up is the same law that is already in effect across the U.S. There's no difference. It is not to target homosexuals. If some businesses are interpreting it like that, that's their choice. I would never. If somebody came to me, if a couple came to me and said, we are homosexual and we want you have to make something for us, I'm sorry, I don't feel obligated that I have to do anything. I operate kind of on don't ask, don't tell. I don't think it's any of my business. What is your sexual preference? If you make that my business, then I'm going to make it my business to tell you my stance, which is biblical. The Bible says homosexuality is sin, period. That is my religion. I follow that as truth. That is the way I live my life. Nobody and nothing is going to force me to do something that to me is sin. Nobody. If you want to throw me in jail, then I guess I go to jail because I am not giving into this. But the law is not so that people can just be mean to gay people, which is how the media is portraying it. This law is so that when a Christian-owned company, if they feel that they cannot, in good conscience, follow like what the government is saying, like you have to provide abortions, you have to contraception, you have to cater gay people, whatever. If a Christian business person feels that violates the religious right, which this company was founded on religious freedom, anybody? If that is the case, all it's saying is that it doesn't say we have the right to not do it. It says we have the right to go to court. That's all the law states, is that, let's say I went to the market and this woman came up to me and said, I am a lesbian and I need a wedding ring and you have to make one for me. And I say, I'm sorry, I cannot, that is against my beliefs. I cannot help you with that. I will not make a ring for you. And she gets mad, you have to make this ring, I will sue you. I'll call the cops on you. What this law would if it was, it's in Indiana, but the law would say I have the right to go to court and defend myself. That's all it says. Without the law, they toss me in jail and I rot in jail. How is that good? It comes down to, they say don't discriminate against gays. Well, aren't the gays discriminating against the Christians or whatever faith? A Muslim business person, if they're not going to cater to the gay agenda, a Jewish business person is not, if they are true to their faith. It's not just Christians, but it's totally against our faith. It's discriminating against us. It's saying that we have to do something that basically you're saying that our beliefs are wrong and we shouldn't have them, and you're trying to force Christian business people into doing what you want. Why? There's so many people in this world offering services. Why would a homosexual person, LGBT person, why would they seek out an evangelical Christian business person? That would be like me going into a halal place and saying you have to make food for my my Christian potluck. They're not going to do it, and they shouldn't have to. You can't. It's just silly. I am so. I know I'm going on a rant here, but I have to. I'm so. There's so much diversity in the country. There are plenty of people. And for you to, they're targeting people of faith with this. And I am totally for freedom of religion. This country was founded for freedom of religion. I've heard people say it's the Constitution or it's the Declaration of Independence. If you read those documents, it's all about faith and God and freedom of religion. Okay, I'm going to step off my soapbox now. I'm probably going to get dislikes for this, but I don't care. Others can have their say. I'm going to have my say. So don't ask, don't tell. Somebody comes to me and buys something, and it happens to be for that. I'll never know. Simple. I don't care what your sexual preference is. That's none of my business. I think it's silly for somebody to go up and, that would be like me going around and going, I'm a heterosexual. Who cares? So, don't ask, don't tell. Anyway, okay, I'm out of time. God bless.